Good morning, gang. Happy Monday. Wanted to post another tip request video that we had from an applicant asking us some questions related to the experiences section of the application, which is found here under the supporting information. Quick clarification I want to make. Some applicants have asked us, do I put my observation hours in the experiences section? No, please do not do that. If you have any observation hours, whether they be volunteer, work experience, shadowing, observation, whatever, anything related to physical therapy where you are observing a licensed physical therapist administer care, that's going under observation hours. Everything else is going under experiences. Okay, so let's click on the experiences section. Click on add an experience. What type of experience do you want to add? Employment, extracurricular activities, research, volunteer. This section of the application is what I have heard many program liaisons refer to as the throw mud at it section or the catch-all section. If you have anything else good that you want to talk about in your application or from your life to put into your application, include it in here. This could be intramurals, employment, research experience, volunteer experience, any type of service organization that you're a part of, club leadership, different things like that. All things that you want to include in here. And this section is going to show that you know how to use your time effectively. If you add more and more experiences, it's going to show that you know how to use your time. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have tons of experience. I personally would prefer to see someone who has fewer experiences, but more hours in those experiences, meaning that you've been more invested in something for a longer period of time. That shows more value, shows more grit, and diligence and perseverance than someone who's dabbled in 50 different service projects for an hour here and there. So that's just my general preference, but those are the different types of things you can put in. You're going to put the name of the organization. If you had a supervisor, it's always good to include that in there. It does look more legitimate if you have someone there. And the experience date, start date, the start date, end date, the status, all those different types of things, if it's full-time, part-time, temporary, different things like that. And then the experience details, whether it was compensated, volunteer, academic credit, number of hours. This is a rough estimate, guys. Like nobody, applicants a lot of times get bent out of shape about these sections where you're putting in the hours. I would say, with the exception of your observation hours, you should have those down pat. But if you're a little bit uncertain or you need to estimate roughly how many hours you put into this, that's okay. Don't stress out about it. Don't freak out and sit there and calculate for hours on end how much time you spent volunteering at the local food bank or being involved in the pre-PT club. Give it a rough estimate that is reasonable. If you're in a pre-PT club, you're usually looking at maybe you have a club meeting during the week, you have leadership activities that you're doing. So maybe between 2 to 4 hours a week, depending on what your role is in the club. And then how long were you in the presidency or in the leadership position, and then do the math from there. Okay, this next section that is so important is the description of key responsibilities. You only have 600 characters to be able to describe what you did in these settings or in these different experiences that you were involved in. So it's important to focus on words that are easy for everybody to understand across different organizations or from different perspectives, right? Try to avoid jargon if you have a lot of very specific verbiage that goes along with the experience that you're in. Focus on things that people can recognize and understand regardless of their background, right? So focus on numbers and percentages. So focus on like percent growth if you are involved in like club leadership and you increase club membership by 30 to 50%, right? That's an easy number for people to understand. You can also focus on action words, things that you were doing, activities that you were involved in. And another beneficial thing to talk about is what that experience meant to you in terms of your development and how you feel like it's helped prepare you to be a physical therapist. Those are the key areas that I would talk about in these sections. Now, there is a question down here of release authorization, maybe contact this organization. You can go ahead and click yes, but let's look at this, right? There is no required supervisor. There's no requirement for that. That you provide the organization name, country, and the state that it's in. So riddle me this. even if you say yes, that you want to authorize this, which I recommend that you do, because otherwise it looks kind of sketchy and it looks like you're just kind of putting a random organization down, just to be able to get hours, which I had a conversation with an applicant over the weekend that was kind of troubling, where this applicant said, well, the PTs that I'm working with say if I need extra hours, even if I don't have those hours, they'll verify those hours for me. That's not good. That's not a good thing. That should make your heart feel kind of icky, because that's called not being honest, not having integrity, right? So don't sell your soul for extra 50 volunteer hours. Okay, be honest. Don't stress out about having the exact number of observation hours, or sorry, the exact number of volunteer hours calculated. Do the best that you can. Give your best estimate, unless you've tracked it, which is always ideal. And then go ahead, write your descriptions and submit, right? This isn't a section that you should be stressing out about it, thinking that PTCAS or the programs that you're applying to are going to go through and they're going to vet and they're going to verify every single entry that you put into this section. It's just not possible. It's not feasible. People don't have time for that. So do the best you can to be honest. People are going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are being honest. You may click the release authorization to click yes, because it looks like it's a little bit more legitimate as far as that's concerned. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate our follower for submitting this question. If you have additional questions like this, don't hesitate to submit them to us on Instagram via Tip Request Tuesday, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure that you can shoot us an email or you can comment down below via Instagram or YouTube, if you have additional questions. And if you're looking to get help with your PTCAS application or your PTCAS essay, go ahead and reach out to us and ask about our coaching services that we provide. We've already had a number of people get signed up, and spots are limited based on demand. So you should definitely reach out if you're considering using us or getting some help. Thank you so much. We appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. Have an awesome start to your week. Make sure that you're doing a little bit on your application each day to be productive, and happy applying.